Character profile. Name, Brian Harper. Age, late 30s to early 40s. Occupation, skilled tradesman, possibly in construction or maintenance with a knack for fixing things and keeping the household running smoothly. Physical appearance. Height, 6'0", build, strong and sturdy with broad shoulders and a build that shows he's no stranger to physical work. Hair, short, dark brown with a few hints of gray starting to show at the temples. Eyes, deep blue, often intense and focused, but soft when he's with people he cares about. Style, practical and straightforward, usually in work boots, jeans, and a well-worn t-shirt or flannel. When he's not working, he likes to unwind in comfortable, laid-back clothing. Personality, dependable. Brian is the rock of his household. He's the guy who everyone counts on to get things done, whether it's fixing the generator or handling the bills. He takes pride in being someone others can rely on. Resilient. Life has thrown a lot at Brian, but he's tough and keeps pushing through. He's faced challenges head-on and learned to adapt, even when it's hard. Loyal. Brian is fiercely loyal to his wife Linda and his family. He's committed to making their life together work, even when it feels like everything is falling apart around them. Brian doesn't always wear his heart on his sleeve, but beneath his calm exterior, there's a lot of emotion. He feels things deeply, especially when it comes to his marriage and the people he loves. Practical. Brian is a problem solver. He's always looking for practical solutions to the issues they face, whether it's fixing something around the house or figuring out their finances. He's more about action than words. Background. Brian grew up in a working-class family where he learned the value of hard work and taking care of the people you love. He's always been the kind of guy who steps up when things need to be done, no matter how tough it gets. He met Linda when they were both young, and they quickly became each other's support system. They've built a life together through thick and thin, with Brian often taking on the role of protector and provider. Over the years, Brian has worked various jobs that have honed his skills in fixing and building, making him the go-to guy for anything that needs to be done around the house or in their community. Current struggles. Brian is grappling with the strain in his marriage. He feels like he's constantly fighting to keep things together while dealing with the emotional and financial stress that's been piling up. The ongoing influence of Hannu in their lives is a major source of tension. Brian is frustrated and worried about how it's affecting Linda and their relationship, and he's unsure how to protect his marriage from this external pressure. He's also feeling the weight of being the main decision-maker in the household, which can feel isolating. Brian often wonders if Linda sees the effort he's putting in and worries that they're drifting apart. Motivations. Brian is driven by a deep desire to protect and provide for his family. He wants to ensure that Linda and he have a stable, secure life together. He's motivated by the love he has for Linda, wanting to rekindle the closeness they once had and get back to being a strong, united team. Brian is also motivated by a sense of responsibility. He feels it's up to him to make the tough calls and keep things running smoothly, even when it's difficult. Goals. To repair the relationship with Linda, re-establishing trust and communication so they can face challenges together. To set firm boundaries with Hannu and minimize her influence on their lives, protecting his marriage from outside drama. To continue providing for his family, ensuring that they have what they need to thrive, both financially and emotionally. To find a way to balance the practical responsibilities with his own emotional needs, possibly by seeking support or finding healthy outlets for his stress. Hobbies, interests. DIY projects. Brian enjoys working with his hands, whether it's fixing up the house, tinkering with machines, or building something from scratch. It's both a hobby and a way to feel in control of his environment. Outdoors. He's happiest when he's outside, whether he's fishing, camping, or just taking a walk to clear his head. Unwinding with a beer. After a long day, Brian likes to relax with a cold beer, reflecting on the day, or just taking a moment to decompress. Strengths. Reliable. Brian can always be counted on to follow through, no matter how tough the situation. Pragmatic. He has a practical mindset, always looking for the most effective way to solve problems. Strong work ethic. Brian isn't afraid of hard work and often puts others' needs before his own. Weaknesses. Communication. Brian can struggle to express his emotions openly, which sometimes leads to misunderstandings with Linda. Stubbornness. His determination to keep things together can sometimes make him resistant to change or outside help, even when he needs it. Overburdened. Brian often takes on too much, feeling like it's his job to handle everything, which can lead to burnout and frustration. Sure, let's continue to flesh out Brian's character profile. Emotional landscape. Internal conflict. Brian feels a constant tug-of-war between his sense of duty and his emotional needs. He wants to be the strong, dependable partner, but he's also carrying a lot of unspoken pain and frustration. The weight of being the primary decision-maker often makes him feel isolated, and he struggles to find a way to express these feelings without seeming weak or overly emotional. Frustration. Brian's frustration is multi-layered. He's frustrated with the external pressures, like Hanno's influence, but he's also frustrated with the lack of understanding and communication in his marriage. He feels like he's doing everything he can to keep things together, but it's not always clear if it's making a difference, which eats at him. Hope. Despite everything, Brian is inherently hopeful. He believes in the strength of his relationship with Linda and holds on to the hope that they can get through this rough patch and come out stronger. He's not ready to give up and is determined to keep fighting for their marriage. Loneliness. Brian experiences a deep sense of loneliness, not because he's physically alone, but because he feels emotionally disconnected from the person he loves most. This loneliness is what drives him to seek reconnection with Linda, though he's not always sure how to go about it. Relationships. With Linda, Brian's relationship with Linda is the cornerstone of his life. He loves her deeply, even if their relationship is strained. He misses the closeness they used to share, and is committed to finding a way back to that. However, he's also aware that they both need to work on their communication and set boundaries to keep outside influences from driving them apart. Brian sees Hanna as a threat to his marriage. While he understands that she's dealing with her own issues, he's frustrated and angry that her actions are creating tension between him and Linda. He feels protective of his relationship and wants to shield it from any negative outside influences. With Friends Community, Brian is well respected in his community for his reliability and hard work. He's the guy people call when they need help, and he takes pride in being there for others. However, he often keeps his personal struggles to himself, not wanting to burden others with his problems. Strengths. Continued. Emotional resilience. Brian has a strong emotional core. He's been through tough times before and knows how to keep going, even when things get rough. This resilience is one of his greatest assets, helping him stay grounded when everything else feels like it's falling apart. Protectiveness. Brian is fiercely protective of the people he loves, especially Linda. He's willing to go to great lengths to keep her safe and to shield their relationship from harm. Weaknesses. Continued. Difficulty delegating. Brian tends to take on too much responsibility, often feeling like it's his job to fix everything. This can lead to him feeling overwhelmed and burnt out, and it also means he sometimes struggles to let others help or to delegate tasks. Suppression of emotions. Brian's tendency to keep his feelings bottled up can lead to explosions of frustration or anger when he's finally pushed too far. He needs to learn healthier ways to express his emotions and communicate his needs. Developmental arc. Growth potential. Brian's journey involves learning to open up emotionally and share the burden of his responsibilities. He needs to work on trusting Linda to handle things alongside him and recognizing that it's okay to ask for help. This growth could lead to a stronger, more balanced relationship where both partners feel equally supported. Challenges ahead. Brian will face challenges in breaking old habits, particularly his tendency to internalize stress and suppress emotions. He'll need to confront his fear of vulnerability and work on improving communication with Linda. Overcoming these challenges will be key to restoring their relationship. Possible turning points. A turning point for Brian might come when he realizes that his efforts alone aren't enough to keep the relationship intact. This realization could drive him to seek outside help, like counseling, or to finally have that open, honest conversation with Linda that they've both been avoiding. Favorite quote: "If something's broken, you don't just throw it away, you fix it." This quote embodies Brian's approach to life, relationships, and challenges. It reflects his belief in working through problems rather than giving up, and his commitment to making things right, no matter how tough it gets. In the narrative, Brian serves as the protector, not just physically, but emotionally. He's the one who tries to shield his marriage and household from external threats and internal collapse. His role involves making difficult decisions and taking on responsibilities that others might shy away from. The reluctant hero. Brian is a reluctant hero in his own story. He doesn't seek glory or recognition. He just wants to keep things together and take care of the people he loves. His journey is about realizing that true strength also involves vulnerability and allowing others to share the load. Long-term goals. Strengthen his marriage. Brian's ultimate goal is to restore the strength and connection in his marriage with Linda. He wants them to be a united front again, facing life's challenges together. Achieve work-life balance. Brian also seeks to find a better balance between his responsibilities at work and home, ensuring that he's not overwhelmed by either and that he has time for his own well-being. Personal fulfillment. Beyond his role as a provider, Brian wants to find personal fulfillment, possibly by exploring interests or passions that he's put on the back burner. This could involve reconnecting with hobbies, building something meaningful, or deepening his relationship with Linda in new ways. This extended profile of Brian adds depth to his character, highlighting his internal struggles, motivations, and the potential for growth. He's a complex, multidimensional character who's trying to navigate a challenging period in his life while holding on to the things that matter most to him.